Sonnet 35 by William Shakespeare, 1565 to 1616. No more be grieved at that which thou hast done. Roses have thorns, and silver fountains mud. Cloud and eclipses stain both moon and sun, and loathsome canker lives in sweetest bud. All men make faults, and even I in this, authorizing thy trespass with compare, myself corrupting, salving thy amiss, excusing thy sins more than thy sins are. For to thy sensual fault I bring in sense, thy adverse party is thy advocate, and gainst myself a lawful plea commence. Such civil war is in my love and hate, that I an accessary needs must be to that sweet thief which sourly robs from me. Okay, so this is a sonnet by William Shakespeare. This follows on from the previous sonnet where Shakespeare's very upset with the fair youth because he's done something to him. And I think in this sonnet it's clear that perhaps the fair youth has been unfaithful. He's gone off with someone else. Maybe he's gone to bed with someone else, another man or another woman, who knows. Or maybe it's just that the fair youth has given his heart to someone else, or is interested in someone else. So, and this is Shakespeare talking about this. He's thinking about it. And this sonnet, it says, well, roses have thorns. The nature, even the most beautiful things in nature have problems, and we all make mistakes. So in this sonnet, Shakespeare's in two minds, because he wants to forgive the fair youth his sins, but he's also really upset, and perhaps he says he's going too far in validating the young man's sins. So in some cases, it's like a lawyer who's speaking in the defense of the youth, and in other moments it's he's like the lawyer speaking against the youth. And Shakespeare's torn apart by the fact that he still loves the youth, but he hates him in part for what he's done, whether it was just fancying someone else, or actually going to bed with them. So part of him wants to defend the young man because Shakespeare's in love with him, and part of him doesn't want to forgive him because he's so upset. So, no more be grieved at that which thou hast done. So don't continue to feel sad about what you've done. Yeah? Don't continue to lament it. Roses have thorns, and silver fountains have mud. So a rose is a beautiful thing, but it still has thorns that prick you. And a beautiful silver fountain, it's still got mud in the bottom. So everything good and beautiful has bad parts as well. Clouds and eclipses stain both moon and sun. So there are clouds which come in front of the moon and the sun, and there are eclipses. So these are bad things, that happen. Notice this moon and sun and these clouds. This is echoing back to the previous sonnet. And loathsome canker lives in sweetest bud. Well, canker is a disease in plants, and canker destroys plants and trees and things like that. And loathsome canker, a disease, can be even in the sweetest bud. All men make faults. Everybody makes mistakes. We all make mistakes. And even I in this, and I am making mistake as well, in authorizing thy trespass with compare, myself corrupting, salving thy amiss, excusing thy sins more than thy sins are. So I'm making a mistake as well. All men make faults, and I'm making a mistake because I'm validating what you've done to me, the bad thing you did by using these comparisons like the sun and the moon and the silver fountain and the rose, and because these comparisons that I'm making are excusing your sins, and I'm corrupting myself by speaking in favor of you, by making light of your sins, excusing your sins more than your sins deserve to be forgiven. And this is a bad thing. This is corrupting. So here we've got this idea that Shakespeare is torn between being angry and still being in love with the fair youth. For to thy sensual fault I bring incense. Now, sensual fault. So this is what the youth. It talks about what the youth has done. Maybe he's gone to bed with somebody else, or maybe he's just desiring something else, somebody else. We don't know. So thy adverse party is thy advocate. So for your sin, for the sensual fault, for the sin of lack of faith, of being unfaithful, the prosecution is also the person who is speaking on your behalf. So I'm speaking as a lawyer on both sides, both the prosecution and the defence. And gainst myself a lawful plea commence. Okay, so he's acting as a lawyer, and he's acting against his own interest. So he's acting for both sides. Such civil war is in my love and hate. So this idea of such civil war, there's a civil war inside him because he doesn't know if he's the defense lawyer or the lawyer for the prosecution. His love is the defense lawyer and his hate is the prosecution. That I an accessary needs must be to that sweet thief which sourly robs from me. So I am an accessory to the crime, and for this reason I love you and hate you at the same time, and I'm an accessory to the crime because I'm excusing the thief that has stolen from me. You've stolen my love or my confidence in you, and therefore this is a civil war of love and hate, and I'm an accessory to your crime. Notice in this sonnet we've got lots of legal terms: adverse party, advocate, lawful plea, an accessory, robs me, a thief. Okay, so he's got this legal idea or this legal thing going on within this sonnet. So anyway, enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Sonnet 35 by William Shakespeare.